By the way, I'm Ella. Out here in the wasteland, you'll find ruins and other interesting places. More important, however, is that we find a suitable site where we can establish a settlement. At the moment, all our settlers are in the Pathfinder, and you can explore the surrounding area with them. But time is tight. When the water in the Pathfinder is used up, everyone inside will die of thirst.
Engine running! Engine running! All clear. I'm at the wheel. Got it? On my way. Let's go. Got it? All clear. All clear. All clear. On my way. Let's go. On my way. Let's go. Let's go. All clear. On my way. On my way. On my way. All clear. Let's go.
We have found a new zone. Take a look at it when you get a chance. It might be worth it to build a new settlement on it.
On my way. All clear.
This transfer point serves as an access point for vehicles and connects your zone with the surrounding wasteland. Look for an ascent on the perimeter of your new zone where you can place the access point.
New instructions? Got it?
This transfer point serves as an access point for vehicles and connects your zone with the surrounding wasteland. Look for an ascent on the perimeter of your new zone where you can place the access point.
New instructions? On my way.
This transfer point serves as an access point for vehicles and connects your zone with the surrounding wasteland. Look for an ascent on the perimeter of your new zone where you can place the access point.
Engine running. Engine running.
This transfer point serves as an access point for vehicles and connects your zone with the surrounding wasteland. Look for an ascent on the perimeter of your new zone, where you have to find a location that is supposed to become the center of the settlement. Once chosen, you won't be able to change the location again. As a result, make sure you place the town center near key resources such as water, trees, and debris remnants. First off, we have to ensure survival. We need water so that we don't die of thirst. Build a jetty by a body of water and assign enough workers that our supply is secure. The jetty produces water as long as workers are assigned to it. Always make sure that sufficient water is available. If the supply runs low, assign more settlers to work at the jetty. Water alone is not enough to survive. We need to eat, too. Build a foraging hut near trees and assign manpower to it as well, so that the workers search for food. The foraging hut produces food as long as there are sufficient resources in its vicinity. If a region's resources are used up at some point, you can relocate the work area of a foraging hut at any time. We need building materials to be able to build new buildings in the future too. The woodcutting lodge cuts down trees, which produces wood. If you run out of trees at some point, you can also relocate your work area. Awesome. Your woodcutting lodge is already producing. By the way, a production site can produce faster when it stands near a depot. Although you don't have any depots, the town center has the same effect. Besides wood, the most important building material is scrap. That's what the scrapyard is for. It collects scrap that lies around and takes apart old ruins. Well done. On the other hand, our settlers are still sleeping out in the open. We ought to change that before we enlarge this settlement any further. Shelters provide for housing and can boost the efficiency of your production runs. Each building belongs to one of 3 settlement branches. The more buildings that stand in one settlement branch of the settlement, the more these buildings progress in that branch. This progress enables us to do research on new buildings from that branch. More about research later on. But that's not all. Production buildings that have a dwelling from the same settlement branch nearby function distinctly more effectively too. If an ecological tent stands next to a jetty, then the jetty functions more effectively. In contrast, the scrapyard and woodcutting lodge profit from economic tents. As long as they have enough housing, our settlers will reproduce and have children. Children are tomorrow's manpower and can work as soon as they have grown up. Our settlement is thriving. Now we want to produce a new resource, plastic. Build a recycler to do that. If the scrapyard is nearby, the recycler produces faster. Buildings that process resources work faster when they are located near their source. The recycler needs scrap to manufacture plastic. That's why it benefits from being near the scrapyard. The toolmaker not only needs scrap, but wood as well. It's best when both resources are produced near him. But don't worry if you're not able to place him perfectly. Naturally, he'll attend to his work anyway. Very good. Now we have plastic and tools, things which are needed in some buildings for production. They are also important to be able to build more complex buildings in the first place. The settlement is growing, and soon the supplies won't be sufficient anymore. More settlers consume more food and water too. Build a fishery to support the foraging hut. Though the fishery is more effective than the foraging hut, it constantly uses up tools for its production. If there are no tools, then the fishery can't function. Conversely, the fishery produces faster when tools are produced near it. Now, we also need cloth to be able to set up more tents. Cloth is produced from fibers, and we have to grow them first. To do this, build a plantation in the vicinity of fertile soil. The only way you can create a field is on fertile soil. Well done. Up till now, we can only grow fibers. But if we find more types of seeds, then we can cultivate them on the plantation too. The fibers are crafted into cloth at a weaving mill. This requires water in addition to fibers. So make sure that sufficient supplies of water are always available. Great! Now you can set up more tents for our settlers to create space for new inhabitants. This is necessary too, because we're going to need a lot of hard-working hands. Keep in mind to place the tents near the appropriate production buildings so that they can function more effectively. Thanks to our joint efforts, our little settlement is soon not going to be so little anymore. If the population increases, then the settlement supply situation has to grow too. Apart from the jetty, you can also build wells that can pump water out of wet, swampy marsh soil. The supply situation is stable. Soon our depots will be filled to the brim. When the depots are full, you have to increase their capacity. There is a depot for water, one for food, and one for all other materials. Place depots near your production sites so that they can produce quickly. Each depot increases the maximum number of resources that can be stockpiled at a settlement. When your depots are full, buildings cannot produce any further. Besides the short distance to a depot, good availability is important for production buildings. A production site produces more effectively when it is connected to the town center by a road. Super! The more buildings you connect via your road network, the more stable the production at your settlement is going to be able to run. When our economy thrives, it uses up more resources too. Luckily, we're able to have our wood grow back again. We have the tree nursery for that. Awesome. The tree nursery will plant trees within its work area that can be used again by the woodcutting lodge. That way, we create a healthy loop.
The needles of the Geiger counters begin to swing hotter. A sharp increase in radiation is going to occur soon. We should start to get sufficient protective clothing ready.
Oh no! I had hoped we'd have more time. Now we have to act fast. We need protective clothing to shield us against radiation. For the first component of a complete set of equipment, we need coal. Coal is made from wood. When wood gets scarce, assign more settlers to the woodcutting lodge, or build a second one. The tailor shop can make protective masks out of coal and cloth. They ought to be sufficient at first. Our settlement already produces cloth, and you have just taken care of getting coal. Good. The protective clothing is truly a blessing. It is issued to the settlers automatically. If a settlement is contaminated and our settlers are unprotected, that can mean the end of the settlement.
Our fears have been confirmed. The radiation levels are rising sharply.
The higher the radiation level in a zone, the better we have to protect our settlers. If the protective clothing is not sufficient at some point, the inhabitants' exposure to radiation rises. When the radiation exposure gets too high, our settlers will gradually die of it. Even if the protection is sufficient at first, we should also prepare ourselves soon against potentially stronger radiation. Regardless of whether due to radiation, a poor supply situation, or simply getting too old, sooner or later, we have to say farewell to every settler. We need a Thanks a lot. Now we have a place to mourn and commemorate those who had to come and go before our time. I think we've put down roots here and can start to upgrade the settlement further. We need sturdy building material to do that. We ought to fire bricks, and to do that, we need clay. We're not able to extract clay just like that yet. For some advanced technologies, we lack the necessary know-how. We have to accumulate that knowledge first. To be able to perform research, first you have to track down ancient knowledge in the wasteland. The thing is, you can start an expedition at some of the ruins there. If you've examined the ruin thoroughly enough, you receive 1 or more knowledge points. But not every site can be explored this way. At some of them, there are merely some resources to be gathered. So to obtain knowledge, we need a ruin we can explore with an expedition.
Engine running. Let's go. These factory grounds are less damaged than the rest of the wastelands. Let's see what we can find here. What's up? It worked. From here, maybe we can get to the other side somehow. I'll do it. On the road. Let's go. On the road. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. On the road. I'm in. We can't do it like this. I'm in. I'll take this with me. On the road. I'm in. Let's go. Let's go! Let's go! This old safe can't be cracked without substantial effort. This old safe can't be cracked without substantial effort. Let's go!
Our explorers have extensively explored this ruin and consequently received 1 knowledge point. We can also use that point to research the kinds of technologies that require knowledge points.
Got it? These factory grounds are less damaged than the rest of the wastelands. Let's see what we can find here. I'm at the wheel.
To be
Ready! This store is still in good shape. Let's see what we come up with there. I'm in! Let's go! There's a key in here. Which lock might be the right one for it? Will do! Let's go! This old safe can't be cracked without substantial effort. Will do! I'm in! Will do! Let's go!
Great! We can build clay pits with that. Our settlers will have to visit unfamiliar places in the future as well in order to accumulate sufficient knowledge for more research. It might even be that now is a good time to explore some more ruins. Whatever you say.
Got it?
Clay is mined at a clay pit, which has to be placed at a clay deposit. If there is no clay deposit, then you can't obtain any clay in that zone either. Awesome. Clay is the basis for a completely new building material. Don't forget that the clay pit benefits from a connection to a road and to depots in the vicinity. Now the newly obtained clay has to be fired into bricks. The brickworks does this. It's best if you place it near the clay pit. As you see, the brickworks begins to work right away when coal and clay are made available to it. The manufacturing of bricks needs a lot of manpower. But before you build new houses, bear in mind that, in addition to more water and food, more inhabitants need more protective clothing too. Creating a settlement is a complicated venture, isn't it?
The water is running out. If nothing changes, it'll be the end of us. We've got to do something.
You're doing just fine. If I'm too fast for you or something goes wrong, then let me wait and take care of the survival of our settlement. Build, when necessary, new jetties, wells, fisheries, and so on to safeguard the supply situation. Besides radiation, the health of a settlement can become a problem too. The more settlers, the faster a settlement's state of health can change. The first thing you ought to do is to build a swamp farm and grow herbs there. If a settlement's state of health declines, then the risk of sicknesses increases. But we're not able to use the herbs raw. First, they have to be processed into medicine. That's done by the pharmacist, who requires plastic and herbs to do it. The medicine is ready and waiting, but now we still have to hand it out to the settlers. This doesn't happen automatically. Medicine takes place via the pharmacy. It supplies all the dwellings in its surrounding area with medicine, provided that there is any. When enough settlers have access to medical care, a zone's state of health will stabilize itself. Although this doesn't rule out the outbreak of sicknesses, it does make sure that our settlement can overcome the sickness much better. Besides radiation and health, you ought to pay attention to our settlers' confidence as well. If the mood is not good, this leads to problems. Settlers can sweeten up their lives with a bit of luxury at a marketplace. Like the pharmacy, the market supplies all dwellings in its surrounding area. The market uses up a lot of food. When food starts to run out, you can give the market a pause to conserve resources. That might heat up tempers, but survival is still the most important issue. Besides radiation, the environment can punish us with long dry spells too. We have to prepare ourselves well for a drought like that and make sure.
The weather seems to be changing. We ought to prepare ourselves for a drought. We're better off stockpiling sufficient water and food so that we're well equipped.
I'm at the wheel. On my way. Got it? On my way. All clear. An old depot. We should take a look around inside. Maybe we'll find something useful we can take with us. I'll do. This generator is still in good shape, but we won't be able to use it without fuel. I'll do it. Jerry cans with gasoline in them are lying here. Can we use them? On the road! On the road! The generator's running and supplying electricity. Let's go! On the road! Let's go! On the road! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I'll take a look. I'll take a look. This old safe can't be cracked without substantial effort. Engine running. All clear. These factory grounds are less damaged than the rest of the wastelands. Let's see what we can find here. Will do. I'll take a look. From here, maybe we can get to the other side somehow. From here, maybe we can get to the other side somehow. From here, maybe we can get to the other side somehow. We can't do it like this. I'll take a look. Let's go. I'll do it. Let's go. I'm at the wheel. All clear. Where are we going?